MLA kaliang persya kila dawa baka sorkar kadai ban pai khmat bha ya kinong rap khamtam hadien balamat ke jing e na ke jing sha kta jong kyang COVID-19 ha bashim ta ka dorbar mangtingka ka bapeteng menta gasngi u MLA ka umroi wa George B Lingdo laong baka dai ya ka sorkar baka pai din ya ki kattu ka ni ki rai hagni ka por balakta ya ki pai ba ulong baka sorkar kampat plat ya ga MLA scheme jong usem arajar khat khnai arpho hadu baki MLA khamtam hakaliang pasha kila shakren hagi paiba bagila sei hi ya skim MLA ko umroi roong baki nongrep kidai ke pasha ta jur hakni ki jingja namar bakimla bandi ki marrep pat kim don kali ban pinket namar bamdon ki yo ki hat nalo ki jingsha lingshop ha kamariang ki nongrep ki bashim ram KCC kimla ban siu chu menta bat ki marrep kila pot lut na ki jing bamdon ki jaka banbu kum ki cold storage ulah dawa pada ban punwan darupha ya ke jingtho economic survey kadbau MLA ka mausunram uba HM changplang ulong kitu ki samla kumba nyo hajar kebala pentibet ha ki jat kam ba pher kebala one pai nasbar dei ban penun kam no yakini hakni ka jilla khnang ba kinyo yakaspa jong ka jilla ha ka bai dei bat kinong rep uba changplang ulong pa ka sarkar ka don kam ban ple jungmut ban ai jingi kai yakinong rep bakin shimya ka kamrep kabala ban pinmi yaki marrep nagani ki jaka klem da don kam chu ban wanra nabar par ka jingkhang dam kade ki jinghi kai ka babyang bha ya ki pait ba ula dawa pade ban pleru khambu ni ki yo ya manta kum kalat maureng halat smith pat hekbe ki jaka khnang ban plelat yaki nong rep ha ko joko por long baka sarkar kade ban ailat byang yaki nong hikai ban yele sasisen ya ka examen joga MTET nomor ba palat hajar ngut kila do kam na jingpmi hukum jong ka sarkar bat mentai kila susong klem kam bat kimdon lat pan wat kam byang nomor ba kamsha su karta.
So I would like to bring to your notice that in the budget discussion of 2018-19 when the state finances were in a precarious position due to the shortfall of income which would have otherwise happened because of the ban on the extraction and transportation of coal, and we were made to understand that the state suffered a deficit of almost 465 crores only from the coal sector. However, taking into consideration that this would have been a long-drawn affair, I had suggested that the state could have an economic development board constituted to help the government and the state to look into avenues that would have helped in generating that deficit. And I'm sure the government may have taken appropriate steps in that matter. But this year, sir, we are now going through a pandemic which has caught a lot of us unaware and unprepared, not for any other reason, but because we don't anticipate such a calamity. In the process, a slew of measures were taken by the government to ensure the fiscal stability of its own resources. Because we all know that the overall health of the government, of the state, depends largely on its fiscal health. Like we had resorted to increase the cost of POL, we had resorted to increase the cost of IMFL and other measures to augment the fiscal health so that the unaccounted for expenditure could be met without having to dig from other resources. Sir, I would be grateful to you also that you had called a meeting of the Honorable Chief Minister and the Leader of the Opposition to discuss the salaries, the contribution. And we are happy to learn that the ministers and grade 1 officers were going to contribute 50% of their salary to help the Chief Minister in to make sure that we had sufficient funds in the pocket. But I would like to state, sir, that as a house of 60 members, in fact, the salaries of a minister and an honorable MLA, there's not much of a difference, just a couple of thousand rupees or few hundred rupees. Now I would like to say, sir, that why not we reconsider your decision? Because when I checked on my last pay bill, from my salary only 6,000 was deducted, which would probably constitute 10%. But I'd like to say, sir, that in this case, under the present circumstances, it would be in the fitness of things if, as honorable MLAs, we all agree to deduct 50% of a salary. Not only the ministers, because they have the same salary as us, like I said. So that the state's coffers can be at least be contributed to. And also, in the days to come, there will be travel allowed by all the government of India, the government of MLA. So the committee tours that would have happened, sir, within the state of Northeast and outside the state should be withdrawn till the next financial year. And the funds which has been allocated in the budget of the assembly, sir. So this is your discretion, I am just suggesting, can be returned back to the government so that they can use that funds for this case. And also, sir, we have deducted 50% salaries and different slabs for grade B, C, D employees also. So most of these employees have taken home loans, have taken personal loans, have taken educational loans, and even loans for medical purposes. Now, if that is deducted from the banks, by the bank, and from the government salary, they'll have little or nothing left to put food on the table. Therefore, it's my humble submission, sir, that this government, with your permission, sir, allow us to contribute 50% of all the MLAs with salary and help them and restore back the percentage of salaries which you have deducted from this employees of BCD. Grade 1, and that's okay, because they anyway have a high salary, it doesn't affect them. Because, sir, if you go through this book, this budget presented by the Honorable Chief Minister, I read, even the increased tax devolutions and the revenue enhancing measures that we put in place, I am able to increase the development budget from state resources to 3,300 crores for the year 2021. This is a 45% increase over the previous financial year and the largest in the history of the state. I congratulate the government. And I hope that with the measures you have put in through the committee or the board which you have constituted to generate revenues will help us in these times. Sir, there's many topics to be discussed, but I felt that this was very important. So my humble request to the Honorable Chief Minister through you, sir, to consider that the salaries of the MLAs be cut by 50% and the salaries of the employees of grade 2, 3, 4 be restored immediately, sir.